Welcome bro, in this video I will teach you exactly how I got to over day 200 of NoFap without really obsessing over it or really thinking about it a lot. I can say that I accidentally got here, right? So just sit down, grab a coffee or something like that. This video is going to be a bit long, so if you want you can also take notes, right? You will not fap if you will take action on the steps that I will give you, right? So this might be one of the most valuable NoFap videos that you have ever watched. My system for willpower and discipline will be in the end. But before everything else bro, you need to realize this one very important thing. Are you feeling so sick of fapping that you have to do it? Because if you don't feel so sick, if you don't really want to stop fapping, if it sounds nice to you to get a bit more energy in those things, and that's the reason why you want to stop fapping, you will not succeed. Because for you to actually stop fapping, you will have to have a strong enough reason why you want to stop. Because stopping to fap is going to be hard. You have this habit ingrained in your life and it will take time. And if you won't have strong enough why, you won't want it badly enough and you will go back to your current life. So before everything else, you need to realize if you actually want to stop. And then, if you don't really want to stop fapping, you still need to watch this video, right? Because you will learn exactly how to stop, you might even succeed without really wanting it, and you might take my methods to stop fapping and direct them to corn. Because this is one of the worst things that you can do is to watch corn. This is way worse than fapping. This is the thing that really fucks up your psyche, your brain. So even if you don't want to stop fapping, you need to quit the habit. The basic principle behind my methodology is that you can't really remove this habit and do nothing else instead. You cannot remove any bad habit, any good habit without replacement, right? You have to have something else to do instead. And that's the basic, right? I'm going to explain it more in details in a minute, but for it to actually transition from a fapper, you will have to transition into something else. In my case, I went from a fapper, from a video gamer, from those very bad things, characteristics, to being a gym addict, right? I run, I go to the gym and all of that, instead of doing those destructive habits. So you realize what you need to do, right? You need to replace, but not that replace the time that you do this bad habit at. You need to replace the triggers that trigger you to fap with meaningful activities. Because what are triggers? Triggers are those things in your environment, right? It can be social media, a photo of a woman in your computer, that trigger your natural desire to fap, basically in this case, right? Your triggers for fapping. You have a lot of triggers in your environment, but there are a few, 20%, they are the main ones that trigger you to fap most of the times. And you need to find them, the 20%, and remove them. And if you will remove them, you will fap most likely 80% less. You will have a lot less desire to do it, because those things that trigger your desire will not be there, and you won't be triggered anymore, right? So find your triggers, the 20% of them, and remove them. So you realize the main two components when it comes to stopping the fap, right? You need to go from fapper to a different kind of identity. The only way, the vehicle that you are going to use to go through this transformation is pain, is sacrifice, is suffering. Because you don't want to go from a fapper to a video gamer. These two habits are very, very, very close to each other. When you are a video gamer, you are going to fap, you are going to be a fapper, because there are tons of triggers in video games to fap. But if you will transition from a fapper, let's say a runner, right? You are going to run instead of fap in social media. You are not going to fap almost at all, not as much as you fap right now. But you don't have only this characteristic of fapper, you basically have a lot more characteristics to you. You might be a video gamer, an anime watcher, a gym addict like me. You need to find something that you get meaning from, your purpose. You need to sit down and just journal 10, 20, 30, 40, 60 minutes about it and find it. You only need the basic desire to achieve this goal, this purpose, right? And then you are going to work towards it, and if you will get fulfillment and enjoyment from the process of pursuing it, it is probably part of your purpose, because you have a lot of purpose layers, right? And you need to basically take all of those negative characteristics that are associated with fapping, like video gamer, you might be, right? Anime watcher, weeaboo. This is my old younger self, right? A fapper, porn addict, right? And you need to transition from being all of those things to doing more meaningful things, good habits, hobbies, and a big purpose. By going through this transformation, your life will completely transformed and you will have a lot more pride and fulfillment from life. You will also fap a lot less or not at all. Like, I don't fap at all. I haven't been fapping for over 250 days because of that. I transitioned from a loser, a weeaboo, a video gamer, to being a runner, right? A YouTuber, not really YouTuber, right? Gym addict. I transition into being those things from being my old younger self. And for you to transition, you will have to basically kill your current self. You are going to die for the sake of becoming this way better version of you. So here is the first practice that I want you to do in the end of this video. Write it on a notepad or something like that so you will remember. Is to open a page on your computer. So open this page, you might do it on Notion or something like that, or Docs. And just put a bunch of pictures on there, right? But not just any pictures, pictures of the guy that you want to become. So you can put there a guy who is in great shape, you can put there something that's associated with your goal. So you are going to create and you are going to call it your lowest standard, and you are going to brainwash yourself. So this will actually become your lowest standard, because we are humans and our behavior doesn't really go all the way up to our desires, right? This is our desires and this is our lowest standard. We are going to act upon this lowest standard, not your desires. And if you will change your lowest standard to such a high standard, your dream life, if you will actually take it seriously and you will brainwash yourself to believe that this is your real lowest standard, and you're going to want every day on your phone like a paragraph of you saying who is your dream self in a first person perspective. Let's take mine for example. I'm a hard-working, disciplined man who works hard every day toward his goals. I help men. I also go to the gym 6 times per week and I run marathons. I have 6-pack abs year round and I eat really healthy foods. So that's basically how mine look, and you can create something very similar. You're going to make it in the end, and this is going to become your lowest standard, and with enough time and sacrifice and pain you will actually work and do those things and progress towards them, and you will build a habit starting small. You will become that guy in a year and 2. So when I started my weight loss journey, I did a similar practice, not this exact practice. I imagined myself having a 6-pack abs. This is my younger self, imagining me with 6-pack abs. By the way, up to this point I've never had shredded abs, my shredded abs popping out, right? So this shit works. And this is where the problem with being obsessed over nofap comes. Because when you are obsessed over nofap, over not fapping, right? Over the transition period, you are not obsessed over goals, over the new self. You are obsessing over this part of the process, the transition period between you and your dream self. You are not just obsessed over this part, you are obsessed over staying there. Because for you to stop fapping, you need to transition into the hard-working, busy version of yourself. You don't need to become the version of yourself who count his strike, his nofap strike, who talk in phones about nofap. No bro, that's not the version of you that doesn't fap. This is the version of you that doesn't fap, the hard-working one, right? So you need to obsess over becoming that guy. You need to believe that you are that guy, using your lowest standards, your habits, not nofap, and that's the problem with it. And you're going to encounter a casual trigger no matter what as you go through this transition period, and even afterwards, after you will transition, your hard-working version of yourself will need to resist. And that's my system for resisting bad habits and developing willpower. So you will actually become the guy who is capable of resisting. You can watch it, right? And that's my system for discipline. So when you fap and you do this bad thing, you need to get back on track ASAP, because you know, you have just regressed a little bit in terms of progress to your new self, right? You have proved to yourself that you are not this hard-working version of yourself. You have proved to yourself a bit that you are still the fapper. So you need to go back on track ASAP and prove to yourself that you are still hard-working, that you are still meeting your lowest standard that you are going to create, right? And that's why you need discipline, and that's my system. This is the video basically, bro. If you enjoyed it and you want to see more videos like this one, you can like and subscribe right now and you will get suggested more videos from me. And that's it.